In the early 1970s, entertainment was simple. Families crowded around televisions with just a handful of channels. Kids dropped quarters into pinball machines at the local arcade. Technology belonged to labs, offices, and factories, not living rooms. Few could have imagined a future where digital play would dominate our culture. But then came one man who looked at circuits and saw something else: fun. He believed machines could do more than crunch numbers. They could spark joy, competition, even connection. And through a series of bold choices and a few happy accidents, he forever changed how the world would play.
Twist, twist, twist of fate radio.
It started with a young engineer who had a restless imagination. Growing up in Utah, he worked summers at an amusement park where he learned how games, flashing lights, and sound could draw people in. At the University of Utah, he studied engineering, but he never let go of his love for play. His dream was to merge these two passions, technology and amusement. In 1971, that dream took form in a game called Computer Space. It was futuristic, challenging, and light years ahead of its time. Unfortunately, it was also too complex. Most people couldn't figure it out. The game fizzled. For many inventors, that would have been the end of the story. But not for him. He took the failure as a lesson. Games had to be simple, intuitive, and instantly fun. So he tried again. This time, he and his partner, Ted Dabney, created a company with a curious name, Atari. The word came from the Japanese game of Go, meaning a move that put your opponent in a losing position. And their next move did just that, against boredom itself. The game was called Pong. 2 paddles, 1 dot, and a back-and-forth rally on a glowing screen. Oh boy, I remember that one. Easy to understand, hard to put down. When they tested the first machine at Andy Capp's Tavern in Sunnyvale, California, something remarkable happened. The bar owner called complaining that the machine had stopped working. When an engineer opened it up, he discovered the problem. It was jammed with quarters. Within weeks, lines formed around every Pong cabinet. Word spread like wildfire. People who had never touched a circuit board in their lives were suddenly hooked on this new form of play. The video game industry had been born, not in a laboratory, but in a California bar filled with the clink of glasses and the ring of quarters. But here's where the story takes a surprising turn. You might think the man who co-founded Atari and helped launch video games into the mainstream would stop there. After all, he had already ignited a cultural revolution. But he wasn't satisfied. His imagination was still racing. He envisioned a new kind of place, a family entertainment center where kids could celebrate birthdays, parents could grab pizza, and arcade games could thrive outside of bars and bowling alleys. And for a touch of showmanship, he dreamed of animatronic characters who would sing and dance on stage. To skeptics, it sounded absurd. Who would want robotic animals crooning next to a pizza oven? But he pressed ahead. In 1977, the first Pizza Time Theater opened in San Jose. At its center was a mascot, a giant, costumed animal. Now here's the twist. Originally, that mascot was supposed to be a coyote, but when the costume arrived, it had big, round ears. Rather than scrap the idea, he pivoted. Of course he did. The character was reborn as a mouse named, have you figured it out? Chuck E. Cheese. And with that, a cultural icon was born. Generations of children would blow out candles, play skee-ball, and collect endless paper tickets. The chain spread across America, becoming a birthday rite of passage for millions. All because one inventor wasn't afraid to chase ideas that sounded ridiculous at first. And his vision didn't stop with Atari or Chuck E. Cheese. Over the years, he dabbled in robotics, personal computers, even early online education. Not all of his ventures succeeded, but that never slowed him down. To him, fun was serious business, and play was worth pursuing. So who was this man? The father of Pong, the founder of Atari, the creator of Chuck E. Cheese. His name was Nolan Bushnell, a dreamer who turned pixels into play, quarters into empires, and a mistaken costume into a mouse that shaped our childhood. Thanks for listening to Twist of Fate Radio. I'm Angela Clark. Curious how fate works? Find more twists and share your own at twistoffateradio.com.